G'day guys, and welcome back to Stitch Up and another episode of Voxel Tycoon, our vanilla passengers let's play. And that's right, last episode we started off preparing for high speed. This episode, if you were if you were disappointed because we actually didn't do any high speed building in the last episode, then this episode we will be redeeming ourselves because we'll actually be putting down some high speed infrastructure. So last episode was all about this factory and ramping up these circuits. By the way, I've sort of tripled this guy, and what have I done here? I've redone the coal deposit so it's much more effective. I think we had 2 of these, there's now 4, so I've just upped the capacity there. We're actually shipping out some glass tubes here. No, we're shipping out some vacuum tubes as well. By the way, we're shipping those guys to Crookwell here, and then we're dropping them off to this little tacker here via this Crookwell transfer, this new stop I just put in here. So that's all happening. These guys are actually being oversupplied at the moment, but it's down, negative 540. Geez, I thought it was only down about 25 when it oversupplies, but it's down by nearly half. So we'll have to just adjust that as well. So we'll have a little bit of a look at things like that. But I've been doing all the little adjusting and having a look and supplying some new little products here and there myself. And the big stuff I want to build when I'm with you. So we're going to be getting straight into talking about high speed. Please enjoy this Stitch Up intro, and I'll see you right here in just a sec. Okay, so let's think about high speed. Let's pause the game and just think about what we want to do here and lay these stations. The very first thing I want to do is I want to lay the stations, and I'll tell you where we're going to lay them at the height. Here's my little, where's my area that I was mucking around? I think it was over here, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. You can see this is me laying the station across here, some high speed railing, and then running a regular track down here. So from where we are, it's 1, 2, 3 steps up is where we'll be laying the high speed. That's the grade at which it will sit in the townships. And I believe the rails also already sit 1 up anyway, so they'll be 4 up from, so it will be 1, 2, 3 will be on this level, 4 up from sea level, but 3 up from the current rail infrastructure. If indeed it sits down low. So we'll always go from, I think we'll have to go from, we'll have to think about this, but it's going to be 3 up from this area, so we'd have to oh yeah, we're really going to have to think about how that goes, because that's different from all the other stuff. Well, funny enough, as part of the high-speed project, I think, well, not even as part of it, as separate to that, I think I'm going to redo this entire Crookwell transfer as a bigger station because it's got a lot going to it now. So I think it's going to be a much bigger hub. I'm going to move some of the stuff here, and we're going to be rebuilding this whole area anyway, including some tunneling from side to side for the trucks, possibly, but we're going to be doing that as part of it. And maybe what we can do is keep things down at grade, so this 1 up, so now they're 2 up there. Maybe what I can do, because it steps up here, doesn't it? Yeah, so this is where it is down here at sea level, but then 1 up at this level is where the rest of the network is over at the hub, and then it's 2 up over here. So I think we could even cut a lot of this stuff down and sort that out. Now, let's start thinking high speed as well. With the high speed, I want to put in, so I'll just show you the stations that I want to go in. Now, I think I want to put in all cases, I want to put in passenger 2 with high-speed rails. Yeah, so this one is it, and this is the size station I want to put in. So let's have a quick look over here. So he's going to be, I think I always want to do them 2 wide. I think I'll do 2 just because they look better. The stations look better. There'll be a bit more infrastructure for crossing over and stuff. It's all going to be point to point, so there might be a little bit of crossover here and there, but we can do that with signaling. That could be quite nice. But I think 2 is better rather than having the single ones. Just for the cost of 136 as a little cost analysis there. It's not too much to get the extras, and I think they look a bit bigger, and I think the reach will be bigger when you look at the spread of their influence. Is it? No, it's not. Yeah, it is. The spread of the influence is moving out with it. So So that could be quite good. Okay, so we're definitely going to have that, and then we're definitely going to have it as 250 meters, so we can run the longest trains. So it's going to be the big station and 2, and that's how those stations are going to be. Now, I think the first one we're going to have should be... and it's going to be interesting because it's going to sit up on a piece of land, but that's all right. It's how the game wants us to do it. So I think we should have it in here. I think we should get rid of some roads there, connect up some other roads up here, but the trains may end up just going anyway. So because where do they get across? They go around this way. So yeah, we might put a bridge across here, but I think we should stick the station in here, worry about expansion a bit later. But if we have a look at where that covers a fair bit. And then if we have one there, we could possibly then have one next to the new freight station over here. That possibly could be how that works, or maybe on that side of it actually, and that gets a bit on this side and a bit on the other side. So yeah, that could work as well. So we could have one there and we could have one there, but I think the very first two, that'll be expansion. So I think the very first one should be here. Now my plan is, do I run existing passenger rail next to high-speed rail? Do I run it on the existing network? My plan is that once that particular area has been served by high speed, I'll remove the infrastructure and adjust the route. So I think that's going to be the plan of how we do it. Now I think I'm going to jump in here and do this and just sort it out. I think this one can be decommissioned immediately. We'll have to remember to take out the route as well. So I think that's going to be it. We have to think about that. So it's going to be, let me think. So here is, wait on, there is that. And then he steps up, doesn't he? He steps up there. So we're going to think about this as the level, because this is where the rails are going to have to, the high speed is going to have to cross all this. And I like the idea that these guys go underneath. So we're going to be 4 up from sea level, 3 up from here, but 4 up from sea level is where the high speed is going to be. So let me think about how we're going to do all this. Okay, it's going to be a bit, we've got a bit of money there, 26 million. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to get rid of, let's get rid of this point, and then we can hit the shift key and get rid of everything in between. Okay, and I need to get rid of this from here. We should be able to go like that and that. And I'm just seeing if we can just get rid of not too much. Let me see if that'll work. Okay, I think that's going to work. Apartment building, 100,000. Yeah, it's all pretty good. Goodbye, goodbye. Little fountain, gone. Right. Okay, now get rid of these guys. That was stopping them from building. There's a nice little stopping them there. I know you can use a mod for that, but just stopped them from expanding. That works quite well actually. Right, let's have a think about exactly where this needs to be. So it's one there. Okay, so there is sea level. So it's here is the next level up, and then it's 1, and so let's go 1. So I'm going to go up. Yep, so sea level, there's 1, this is 2, and so this is 3 here. Right. So it's 4 above sea level actually, so that's going to be where it is. So it's going to sit on a platform like this, which is going to be interesting. So I'm going to see whether or not, let me think about how it goes around that curve. Yeah, and also I need it to be right in the center here as well. So let me do a bit of leveling. Let me see, 600,000 just for that bit there. See, 700,000 just for doing that. I do that, and then I go, ooh, what's this going to cost? Another couple of hundred. Okay, we'll do that as well. And let's see if we can pop down the rail station now. High-speed train station. Okay, now this is passenger station 2 with high-speed rail. So 2 means it's got the extra spread. That would put it up on the plateau. Is that putting it up on the plateau? Yeah, it would. That would stick it up where we need to. That means it's running really, really high through the suburbs as well. And I'm just wondering about the curve there as well. I think that's a good curve. I don't mind the high speed going around the sharp curves. I'm not using the mod yet where it's got the natural curves. I think that will complicate things too much. I don't want to push it this way because we've got that mountain there. I really want it to get a bit more over here because this side of the town needs to be serviced. So I'm going to pick there and just make sure he's up. Maybe I'll pick right on actually. I've got to do the curve. Okay, that's going to be where it is. Let's zoom in. So 1.8 million. 1.18 million, sorry. So that's pretty good. Just over a million. I think vanilla is about 600,000. So I think it's building. I think we've got. Yeah, we're building an extra bit there to put him in either side. That's where the extra money's coming from. Otherwise, I think he's about 700,000. Yeah, let's put it. Once we put it down, I suppose. Look, we're on the pause game here, aren't we? So we could have a look at that. Let's just put it down there and see about it. How that's going to look. That's not too bad with the houses up against it. Gee, that's not too bad at all. I wonder if we could put tunnels through there as well. No, I don't think we could tunnel through if it's got something above. Can we? Don't think so. Let's just have a quick look and see. I think that might be getting carried away. Should we try tunnel? And 0, 0, 0. You've got to go up one, that's why. But if it was down at grade, it might work. Okay. We can have a look at that later. I think that actually might work. We'll see about that. Okay, so high speed would sit like that. Is that going to be really ugly? We're going to hate that? No, I think we're going to like it. Now, we've got to work out where. So that's our first station and where we're going to get to. Now, I think we're going to come along here. I think we're definitely going to go up this part and through here. And I think what we'll do is come into this section here. And I've got a little plan of where it's going to come in. So I'm hoping we're at the right height here. Let's stay on pause in case we completely bollocks all this up. Right, let's lay the rails. So we go lay rails and we want high speed. Yep. Now, I have to do the curves on, I can't do them on bridges. So what I'll do is, let me see, what I need here is, I want electrification and I want it on the left. I'll explain that when I go. High speed rails. Bridge. And I want it to be a truss. Truss is that. We don't want that for the moment. We want beam bridge. Yeah, this looks like wonderful high-speed railing. Okay, so let's put one there because we know that's where the first pylon's going to be. And that's how it's going to look. So this is going to look really, really cool. It's going to look brilliant. And the idea is that you can then get... So we'll go bridge and we'll do electrification on the left and we'll do hang on, no, we want electrification on the right for that one. Yeah, because we want this to be slightly different. I think the electrification doesn't matter which side it's on. You can just pick it for how it looks. So we're gonna want it. This is gonna be a funny little one to build, isn't it? This is going to be interesting. Okay, lay rails. So if we build this, we would now go on the right. And let me try for the bridge. Yeah, so that would be electrification on the right. Yeah, so I want the electrification to sit on the outsides like that, not on the insides. I think that's how it's going to be. If we didn't do that, so we've got that option, let's just try. I want to show you what it looks like with go bridge and go electrification. We want this down to 0 and we want this guy to be on the left. As we're building out, we want it to be a beam bridge, and I'm just going to do this as a little showing you. No, we want that to be on the right then, because we want it to be the opposite. Beam bridge. And we want that to be on the right then. Here we go. So this is on the inside. Can we do that? So we'll do that there, right? If we do that there, this is on the inside. And if we do this as the left. There we go. Is this correct? It is. And that would put electrification on the left, which would be here. Yeah, so there's the other profile where it would sit in the middle. Is that better? Do we like that? Electrification on the inside. I think that does look better, actually. So we got that. Or we got that. I kind of don't mind it on the other way. Electrification on the inside line. Yeah, you know what? That's probably going to match. This is probably better when we lay the standard network. I think that just all looks a bit interesting. Plus, we're never going to have the pylons close together. Sometimes they're going to be these little double bits, and we're going to get that. I think that's going to be interesting. I think we'll get away with that more when they're on the outside. So I think we're going to go with this for high speed, and then something different for when we do the regular stuff. Okay, so let's now put in, well, we can think about traffic links and stuff in a minute. The high speed means that the road should go underneath. So let me see if I can just get rid of a little bit more here, a little bit more infrastructure here. There's quite a few buildings we're losing there. Okay, and that's how that's going to be. Let me also get rid of these guys, not required at the moment. And then think about what we're going to do here. I think we're going to have to come through here. Yeah, we may have to move some things. Come through here, move the standard rail could be the case. It's going to be a big project to bring it all along. Okay, so let's go here. Let's put in the next piece and work out where we're going. So here, yeah, I think we're just going to go straight down this way. So, so what I want to do is, let me build a little pod of land. 1, 2, 3. Hang on, sorry. I don't know why I'm counting that. That was weird. Okay, let me do this little pod of land lining up with this and lining up with this. So about here. Let me do this little pod of land. 1, 2, 3. And that's the height because we're already 1 up, so that's 4 up. Okay. I might then go here. How much is this going to cost to just go like that? And that, and then that. Right, and what have we got? Profile of 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need to see where 1, 2, 3. I think we should aim for this to be the thing. So that's it there. So there's the profile. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop. Yeah, you can see what I'm trying to do. Yeah, okay, it's going to cost. Is that costing a lot? That's not too bad. Right, okay, cool. So let's see if we can get the curve going. So we'll go rails and we'll do high speed. Yeah. So bridge, beam bridge. Yeah, beam bridge is good if I can get it to there. Is that enough for the curve? Let me see how much it needs for the curve, because I think we're going to need a little bit more room for the curve. So let's see if we can eyeball the curve. We can't actually build the next section until we've done this. So if I do that and that, let me see if I can get the curve going in there. Okay. Bridge, yeah. Oop. So if I'm on here, I need to be on the right. If I'm looking at it, building from, so I assume I'm building from here to here, so it'll be on the right with that. So like that. Continues that, yep. And then there's the curve there. So how many are we off? Because that's got to be 2 across, so we need to be 2 more. Okay, so if we do, let me just do refund of just, and refund that as well, and refund this. So if we do 2 more, oh man, this is going to be a complicated little move here. Okay, what are we doing? We're going matching, so 2 more please. Okay, there's what we need, and he's going to come around to here. Let's do that for now. Okay, so if I go rails, here, high speed, and we're doing bridge, and we want the bridge to be like that. Hang on, we want the bridge to be 0. Yep. Look at that extra pylon. Why is that there? That looks awful, that pylon. Can we just do something slightly different? And I want the rail to be on the right. If I go up, yeah, that's better. And I could force a pylon there maybe. And there, that's better. I could do that. And then this, yeah, and then this part to there. And I've got the rail, I've got the electrification on the right side. Okay, so that's that. And over here, we would say, okay, but you need to be on the left, so that's fine. Left, okay, and we want this to be bridge, but I want it to be on the other side, forcing it. So if I go force it there, then go to there, puts a beam in, yeah. And we want to come around to here. So this is operating on the same way the other one will. Is that it? I think that's it. I think that is nice. Is that... Are we getting some high-speed infrastructure up? Is that what we're saying we are? I think we are. Shame you can't do curves there. I think the curves will be brilliant. Not sure if we can run roads under here. That'll be brilliant if we can run roads under there. I bet we can. Maybe we need to move some of the beams. These have been purposely put close together. When we get some wider beams, we might be right. So we can do some wider beams up here. We might be able to run a road under there. So that's promising. Forget the tunneling. We can use the roads. Okay, so... Oh good, this is going nice and quick too, isn't it? Right, and I suppose what we could do is I could get the gist of this going, and then I could do this, I can get most of it done and then just complete it maybe, and then next episode we can probably run the high-speed trains. We have to think about where we want the depot as well. Okay, let's think about this guy. So this guy's going to be on the right. Electrification, he's going to be with the bridge like that, and I want it to be 0 change. Oops, sorry, let's go 1 2 3. Oh, 1 2 3 4. 4 is where we need to be. 4 is the magic. Yeah, look at those big spacey beams. So let's put him there, and he goes across this bit okay, which is interesting. I didn't think he would. So if I go 1 2 3 and 4, the high speed is suitable. Is that correct? He's on the right side. Yep. High speed is now suitable for these long stretches. That's what you get. It's not the small stretches you want. It's these big long stretches where the train can actually pick up speed to get through. So that's gonna be interesting. Okay. And over here we'll do left. And we want that one, and we want him up at 4, please. Hang on, left. 4, thank you. Yeah. So I'm just seeing the pylons on exactly the same. They are nice. That's good. And the electrification's on the right way as well. So that is nice. Look at that. Oh, this is going to be so cool. This is going to be so nice, and you know what? It actually helps to blend in the height of the height of the station too, to have it up. A little bit of realism there with with the station being up as well. Okay, that's good. Now what we got to do? This part I was thinking will be fairly easy. I just need to move some things. To do that, I'm also going to have to get this guy to go back into here. Yeah, you'll go back into there. So I should be able to unpause the game, just get rid of him. Hopefully he goes, and then I'll pause it. No one will be on this track. Yep, good. Okay, good. So there are some cars that can't find their way to destination. We'll fix all that. That's because we've broken some of these roads. Oh yeah, look, there's no... Yeah, they're already on that part there, so it's broken. We'd have to fix that up. Send him to depot, should be fine. Okay, so for here... let's just work out how we get around this bit, because I think we need to do a diagonal bit all the way into where we need to be, and then straight in. So yeah, as less curves as possible for the high speed. Okay, so we want to level out, we want to keep this and level out this guy. Yep. And then what we want to do is get rid of yeah, I want this to be the final product, so that we don't move anything, because these high speed, it needs to see where the exact pylons for this are going to be. Maybe I should put the high speed in first and then put the other network around it. That could be good. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, I'm thinking I could get rid of this altogether and force all trains around the other way, but if a train has to go from Cookwell, it would have to go all the way around there. That might not be too bad, actually. It's only the passenger train that does it at the moment. I'm thinking about getting rid of this whole network, the inner network. It's just this train that comes into here, but they would have to go around there as well. No, this needs to be for the passenger. The slower passenger trains need to be able to run along there. Okay, now where do we want the high speed to come through here? I think we want it to run through this part of it and straight down. So, okay, let's build. Look at that in the water too. That looks great. I love that. Okay, so we go rails. We will lay the high speed now. And now we are on bridge. And we are on electrification on the left, please. And I want it to go, first of all, I want it to come up 4. So it's the right height. And maybe to there could be good. And then we'll worry about the curving rounds and the diagonal. I'm hoping diagonals are going to be okay. Otherwise, we're in big trouble. Yeah, I think that's where it's going to be. Okay. So we need to go. Let's do. Let me think about this. How about this? Terraforming. See, look at how much this all costs. This is 4 million spent so far. Okay, so we go here. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's the height we need to be. And then we go level. Come back a bit. And I want it to be another one there and another one there. So that's it. And it's going to have to come up here. And then turn. So I'll do it like this at the moment. And we'll see if that will help us with a turn. Because it then should auto-build now that we've got a bit of ground. I want these pylons to be relatively small, and I can strip away what else I don't need. Because you can't do curves on this high-speed raised rail, because it is effectively a bridge. Okay, here we go. So high speed. Let's do just the one side so far. But I don't like that bit of double electric there, but we might be able to fix it. High speed, and we go truss. Yeah, and we get to this bit. Let's just get to that bit. Yeah, that's good. It took away one of the electrifications anyway, and it puts it like that. So I'm happy with that. I think that's not too bad. And then from here, we need this to go. Ooh, hang on. High speed. So you should be able to curve now. Yep. So that's the direction we need to take. So is that just adding pylons there? What's that doing? Is that just adding these guys in? That's not bad. Very nice. So that's a direction. And from there on in, we would go bridge, beam, and it's going to be, hang on, bridge 4. Oh, we want bridge to be, what's happening here? I need it to get rid. Come on. Bridge. And I want it to be 4. So if we go up to 4, we're up 4 there. Why are you going down? Cursor height is going to be 4. How can I make this? Oh God, how can I get this to do this? Have I got? Can I get rid of these bits of land? Nope, can't do that. Can't get rid of those two. How do I do this? Itchy ear. Okay. Maybe I can't do this. Maybe bridges can't go on an angle. They can only go straight. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's just test that. And if that's the case, I've got plan B, but I think that's the case. Oh God, I don't know. I think that's the case. I think it literally can't go up. If I go bridge, beam bridge, and we're 3 up, if I even go 5, look, I can't do any bridges. But if I go this way, if I do it like this, and then go bridge, 4, what about if I cancel that and just go like this as a test? Right, let me just test this. I'll get rid. But it's going to cost me to do the terraforming. But if I did that, and then I went bridge, because he's straight now, 4. Yeah, now I can do it. Okay, so I see. So what we need to do is we need to work out exactly where it's going to go, and pylons in the middle of the sea. That could work. We'll do pylons about here. Yeah, that could do it about in there. So other than coming around here and doing a curve, we just have one spin over here. Yeah, that could really work. Okay, right. So we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to get rid of this. This is going to be expensive. Oh God. Yep. Might as well get rid of this little bit here as well. Oop, not the whole bit. Oh, it's the whole bit. You could only do the whole truss bridge. Oh, come on. Hang on. Although, refund is the full, isn't it? Refund is the full. I only want to do a little bit of it, though. It's going to be the whole bit. 383. Okay, let's see if we can build that bit again. Now, I'll just get rid of this bit. Oh, man. So it should be about 383, and we're on the left. And we want to go all the way out this time. Right. Railing, high speed. And it's going to be bridge. 1, 2, 3. And go like this, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4 on the left, please. Yep. So your pylons are all lining up. Yes, they are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we want it to go to about, and this is where we're just going to go. Right here it is. So about there. Please tell me that was good. I didn't see how much that cost, but it is correct. Right, this is where we now need to line up, but it doesn't matter if it's not too close. It can be just sort of along here, that's fine. So let's start to line up some of this stuff. So if I got this guy about here, so we want this to be terraforming, and I want to go down, and it's about here, so come down. Oh, what a time for it to save. Okay, so it's there. Yeah, so we get to some bedrock. Geez, lucky we can do that. That is good. Don't want to do too much of this, because this is going to be really quite ugly, this bit. And it's going to be 4 across, isn't it? Oh God, yeah. 1, 2, 3, and if we do, okay, so what we could do now is go here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Start to do that, yeah. And then get rid of, actually, we just want to get rid of these guys. And I want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4 across, so it's going to be these guys here. So if I go 1, 2, 3, and 4, get him down to bedrock. Whoop, not that one. Should be watching what I'm doing here. Okay, now we want to build it up. And we want to go, what do we want to go? We want to go 1, 2, 3, and I just want to see how high this is. Oh God, it's not coming up at all. So that's the profile of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, and we want to come up again, and I believe we need to come up again. Actually, let's see about this. Yeah, we do. We need to come up one more. So that is the heights. Okay, let's build this like this. That's too much. So that's the correct one. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I want this guy to be 1, 2 here. Yeah. And a little crossover just here so we can get the curve going round. So this is how I think I'm going to get the guy to go round, but I could be well mistaken. Okay, because I want to come around here and go off there, but let's see about it. It may work. We may have to come back and do some more. Either way, we're going to have to fix up what's going on there. Just fix up some pylons and stuff. Okay, electrification, lay rails. This is grim. I mean, it's not grim, sorry. This is sort of, it's not grim at all, but it is time consuming. So we've got this on the left, please. So that kind of works for a pylon. And then that kind of works if it will let me do it. Please let me do it. Yeah, it puts the pylon in the middle there. That works. Yeah, and we're on the right side there for the power. That actually is lovely. And then here we can then go, if I go bridge, beam and 4, and now we're looking, oh look at that, he gets under there too. That is lovely. Oh my god, that is brilliant. Okay, so that works, and we're on the left. So if I just do this all the way, and that rail goes underneath fine at the moment. Yeah, that kind of works there. Let me go down here to 2. Yeah, 2. The cursor is 2 here. What's that? Can't build here because of a... That's fine. Put that there and just say here is high speed on the left. Oh yeah. So the curve is going to be interesting. It's got to go around a sharp bend, which is not brilliant, but that's all right. That's how the game is. Yeah, around the sharp bend is a bit silly, really. Oh man. The only way we could do it is to do a pylon section all the way along to run it along, but I think we just have to run it like this. See how the train goes with that curve. We might have to come back and fix that. Right, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna jump out of this. I'm gonna get the road network just fixed up with some tunneling. Well, with some roads actually, just some roads. But I need this to be slightly. It's gonna have to be nice. Let me see. I tell you what we could do is let's just get rid. How much that cost to get rid of? 75,000, no problem. And ooh, I just go. Can I get rid of this? Yes. And can I then put a road in here and do a road, not a conveyor belt? Can I put a conveyor belt in there? Actually, is that good? Is that sensible? And there's a connection. And now if I just send this one back to depot. Back to depot and send this one back to depot and just any lost guys. I think these guys have pathed their way through. I think you can still get through. Let me see. There should have been existing infrastructure for them to get through, but I think they're already pathed at the moment and they can't actually make the change. I think that's their problem. Okay, let me unpause the game there. We'll have a train that's lost as well because they'll be trying to access a station that's no longer on the list. What was that one? In fact, if we just bring up one of the passenger trains, where is it? Is there any passenger trains anywhere? There was one over here. Yes, all the trains should be lost because we've got no infrastructure there as well. So we'll fix that in a sec. No, we can fix that now actually. Let's fix that now and get that right. I don't know about signals on this one. We'll have to have a look at that. If we go lay rails, and we want standard. Oh, I haven't seen signals on the high speed. That's going to be interesting. Right, so it's going to be, let's do this and then back into this part. So either back into there. Oh man, look at that. I've got electrification on. We want this to be off. I'm paused, aren't I? I am paused. Thank you very much. Silly, silly, silly. Can I do, what can I do? That. Then I can do this. Okay, I must remember to pop the electrification back on. How many times do you reckon that's going to happen? I'd say maybe a few. Yep. Now there's the outer line. There's the. You can do the inner line like this. Just make it simple. And then these guys coming out can go right. You need to come out this way, sort of that way. I realise that I'll have to get rid of that piece over there in a sec. The other bits, can you connect up to here and just make it nice? Signalling is going to be all over the shop at the moment. Let's just do some signalling. So you've got that. In fact, it's a whole lot of block signalling here, isn't it? It is. What do we got here? We got any... Oh, look at all these new signals. What are we using? We're using semaphores, standards, no... just do them like that, and then we'll go... Do you know what? Let's go multiples at 110. Multiples at 110 from here could be good. So yes, please. And then multiples at 110 from here going that way. Yes, please. Let's do it there, actually. Line up with the other ones. Okay, that's good. Yeah. That's nice. And we've just got an extra one here. You've got a decision to make there. So I'll just quickly pop in a pre-semaphore. Pre-semaphore. A semaphore, but pre. Okay, and then get rid of this and this one. Wow, the high speed is starting to look the business. Apart from this sharp bend, but... I suppose in future we can change. If we want to start doing the long pylons with the big earth the earth mound on the angle, we can fix that up as well. So we are trying to get all the way to over to here. We should be able to unpause the game now, actually. Oh, look, I ran this one too. Now I ran this one. This is, by the way, this is Scaleman's what is it called again? The Ibermed. Now, the Ibermed, I've extended it. It's got quite a few passengers in it there too. Have you? Nope, you got fuck all passengers in it. But on speed 1, let's just have a look at him, because he is sitting now at 164 k's an hour. Now, we're at speed 1 here. That's quite fast. His maximum is 180. So he's moving really, really well. Let's watch some of the other trains. We've got some loading issues over here. These trains should be... Yeah, here's a regular speed train here. And you can see he's catching him up. On speed 1, he's going to catch him up. So we're looking at... He's getting up to... What is he at the moment? 150. Here's a long stretch. We'll see. 160. He's getting up there. It depends if there's someone in front of him, and there is. So we'll see about that. But again, because he's sharing the track with slower trains, he's going to go a bit slower. But yeah, the Ibermed, I set him to the same route as these guys. And I believe we might have to just quickly adjust that route as well. So if we go here... Now, is there a station there? What's this? What's this station called? Crookwell West. Well, you shouldn't be able to access that one. I've put the station down where the other one is, so we've got to take out Crookwell West if that's the case. Let me see, it's all the same. It is all the same as schedule, so Crookwell West needs to be removed. So if we go edit and just remove Crookwell West from the entire thing and go OK, and then go like that, that means that all of the trains now, including this guy, should have Crookwell West removed. Yeah, so those passenger trains now should no longer go to that, because they'll start getting lost. I think he would have, I don't know what he would have done then, but yeah, the new high-speed station has the same name as the original one because it's in the same spots. That's what the game does. So yeah, this is cool. I like it. It is quite high up. I was worried, is it too high? But I like it. It sits up a bit. And I like that when you get up to here, it kind of, look at that in the mountains, it sits up, still sits up, but it sits up away from that, and it's never really going to sit up in the proper mountains anyway, so it's, or even up in the hills, it's going to always sit up like this, so that's all pretty good. We can send that through here. Again, we've got an angle thing to do here, so maybe I want to do... I really don't know what to do. It's got to go at right angles there, doesn't it? Oh man, I think we're going to have to do the earthen bits. And I think you can do those anyway. It's got the earthen bits were... It just does them itself. It's going to be quite easy to do. I think we will do the earthen bit up here. I think we'll go all the way across, and then we'll do an earthen bit right up to here. We'll go straight in, and then I'm going to put 2 more tunnels next to it, and I'm going to run those 2 tunnels in, and then we're going to get the other station. Now, just before the episode ends, I think we should put the other station in and pray to the sweet Jesus that we're at the right level. So let's pause and just confirm we are 4 above sea level. So, sea level, hang on. So sea level, well, the lowest level where the lake is. So we are, here is the lowest level, and we are, let me think about this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and station sits on top. Is that right? Yeah, so this is all a grade. This is grade sea level. Then this is 1 above, and that's all fine. And then we go 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So 4 above sea level is where we want to be. So let's go put in the other station, and then I'll maybe put the connections in and get all that sort of looking pretty good, and then we can play with high-speed trains in the next episode and look at what we're going to be doing. So here is sea level here. There's sea level, and I want to put the station right down the middle here. So we pause the game. It's going to cost us a bit here, but I'm going to go goodbye. Right, you can all go. Where are you going to go? Should we do a little bit of... Let's keep that and do these guys. So let's do this guy gone. This guy gone. That's that. Then across here, because we're going to put a station right in this section here. So it's going to be goodbye. Hi. Yes, yes, yes. And from here, well, we won't need to put that going up. There's not going to be anything to go up to. So goodbye. Right, and then from here, I'll get rid of this guy as well. And I think we're going to want to put the station a fair way back. So I'm just going to get rid of these two guys. It's a bit of, you know, we've really kicked off there. Okay, so here and 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is the platform here. So it should be fairly easy to do. We just go level. So here 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is it. And I want to go level this guy out. And then I'm just going to put a little strip in here to allow it to build. Let me do that again. Like, do that. Okay, now if I go to here and I go stations, it's remembered that, and I go there, so it should put this up there. So I want it to be on the same level. Make sure it doesn't go up or down one. That is it, isn't it? Yeah. So if I unpaused here, I can check if I've got the right thing happening. Let's see. So it's basically, we're looking at coverage here. So if I put that there, that looks brilliant, actually. That looks really good. Okay, let's put that there. And then we go, here's that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so that is perfect. So I'm going to run the station out here, put a curve bit in around this area, and then run it along here. Have to come around another bend here. So I might see if I can run the high speed fairly close to where this is. No, I might have to get a bit of distance actually, come right across out to here, and then put the little pylon out here for the turn, and then go straight back in. And of course it's going to run in those tunnels. We'll make a 45 here, and I'm going to run straight across all this until it gets into its next straight section, which goes all the way down to the existing part. Then we will have connected those stops into high speed. So I'll double track it, I'll run that in, I'll set it all up. That's going to be a bit more of just what you just saw then. In fact, it's just going to be that. So I'll go ahead and do all that in between episodes. Finally, if I could share with you as well, we need to just put down, and let's put him down while we're on pause, and we can just take it off again. Let's put down the high-speed depot and have another look at trains. I've been unlocking a few things here, but we also need to work out where to put the high-speed depot. And what we might do is, let's have a look now, and next episode we'll actually have a look at where we're going to put it. Brilliant. I think this is a Scaleman asset. Brilliant asset there. Look at it. Lovely. One thing I have to say, one thing about the game in general is I wish the depots were big and long and 250 meters at all times, or you could make them certain lengths, but you couldn't put big trains in small depots. And I just think you need long depots from the very start, even if they're basic rail yards, but I think they need to be long. I think space isn't an issue even in the starting game. So as long as they're cheap, I think that would work out quite well. Just my thoughts, but yeah. Let me know if you agree with that down in the comments. I think just for realism, yeah, big train going into this little building, no, doesn't work. Okay, so we want to go electrification only, and so far at 9 million, he's gone up a little bit, the Hispano Star, and we're looking at any of these high-speed trains. Ooh. So far at 1.3, this one at 200 k's an hour, the ER200 is looking pretty good. That could be one of the ones we won't run on this. I want to run all the same, but he's taken 32 passengers. How much can he be extended to? Let's see. So he's going down his acceleration. Oh god, yeah, he can be extended right up to the 224. That's lovely. So if I just do this, stop configuring him, go by and change the filter to passengers, when I select him next, so electric, ER200, and put him up to the 224 mark. So 224, otherwise he goes over. So 224. So he'd be carrying 26, 32, 32, 32, 32, and then, oh god. So they're carrying quite a bit, just 26 in the engine cars. Now, of course, we're never going to need to carry that many people, but I want long trains. But that looks like one of the looks a little bit like one of the earlier generation, the 76 generation of the Shinkensens. It's got, but the nose isn't quite as long. But I wonder if Shinkensens are in the game. We'll have to have a look. We will also see what we're researching as well, because we will be able to see if we can research, because I've researched quite a bit. Let's just have a quick look here. Now, I think nothing. Oh, there's a few things researching at the moment. But, yeah, we're about to unlock these guys, actually. We're researching these guys. And the TGV at 4 million, it goes at 320 miles an hour. But the DB Ice at 4 million as well. We could spend that. We could only run like 2 or 3 trains anyway. And he goes at 320, so that could be lovely. 200 kilometers an hour for this guy. You could put those double-decker coaches on that we saw. And then this guy's 200 as well. And then we've got this guy here at 160. 160. These guys would be good for cargo. Here's another one at 160. Now, we want 200 and above. So, yeah, but I think this guy could be great. Look at him. The DB Ice train 320. That's really fast. Okay, so we've got those guys coming up anyway. They're being researched. Right, this episode has been all about the high speed, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I think I'm going to be unpausing the game, letting some things go. I may just redo this section as well and cop how much that is. So I might even just put that across there, because I think it's going to be a lot better than having this ridiculous one here. I think I'll do that. Yeah, I think that's whatever we just spent, the 3 million we spent doing this. I think we just have to cop that. But yeah, this just looks a bit strange. Please leave your comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Stitch Up. I hope you've enjoyed that. And we'll continue building high-speed rail in the next episode, as well as doing many other things. And I'll see you in the next episode of Voxel Tycoon. Cheers.